Steven Gonzalez here with Brian McGowan, and Brian today is going to show us basically, the basics of sharpening a skate. Brian, what do you got to say for yourself?
Hi, my name's Brian. I work here at Pickwick Ice. This is in the pro shop. This is our skate sharpening, which is a top of the line blade master machine, a 3-station. We kind of set this one up for figure skating with the figure skating jig. This one's for flat grinding and rockering, which comes with a rockering system, which we have. This one here we set up for hockey with the hockey jig. And basically what you want to do is, one, depending what skates you have, we have this, which is our dresser, which we can set the hollow, which shows the depth that your blade is at. For all beginners, we usually recommend a 1/2 inch because it's kind of a in-between sharpening. For figure skating, about 90% of them are all at 1/2 inch. And hockey skates, it's a little more various. We usually go from 3/8 to 5/8. Once again, 1/2 inch being the most normal. And basically how this works is the diamond tip. This is a sandstone that goes through the steel. And basically it has a magnetic that locks this in. So you put it like that, right dead center. And what that does is you turn that on, and if you want to watch, you'll see it very slowly. We'll slowly dress that. The slower that gets stressed is the smoother that your sharpenings will be. And then once you have that, basically, you run about 20 passes. We have another thing, which is a leveler, which a lot of sharpeners don't use, and why they're not as even. The most important thing when sharpening is that you have it level. Once you get that on there, there's a level line, and you can see if your sharpening's like that or like that, it's a bad edge. It really needs to be level. And then we usually recommend people sharpen their skates about after 30 hours of skating. Once again, if you accidentally step on concrete or if you leave your skates in guards, they have a tendency to rust really fast. So we usually recommend doing it about every 30 hours. For figure skaters, it's about every 2 months. Hockey players, they do it a lot faster, so it's about I'd say about every 6 times. And then here's the key. Gusto lat.
That's the money maker right there.
Like butter.
Let's have a look at that blade, sir.
You're going to take the edge off?
Very good. Why do you stone it, Brian?
Look
Why
at
do you add that stone to the bottom there?
Takes all the burrs off.
All right.
Now, once they're really sharp,
yeah,
you can't hurt yourself. The way you actually cut yourself is when they're dull and they're all nicked up. If you did this to a nicked up blade,
yeah,
you would cut yourself.
All right.
So it's sharp skates, but they're a lot safer when they are not nicked.
Hey Brian, what's the difference between what are the two most popular hollows for a hockey skate?
Hockey's 1/2 inch, which is kind of in the middle, and then 7/16, which is a little deeper, and then my all-time favorite is 5/8 for the guys that can skate.
What's
The stronger the skater you are, the flatter you can go, which makes you resolve faster.
Oh, so if you go flatter,
You go faster.
Is that because there's more blade on the ice, or what?
There's more. When you go deeper, you have stronger edges, so you're stuck to the ice.
Okay.
So if you have a hard time when you turn and you're sliding, people like that want to go a little deeper to like 7/16.
Gotcha.
Once you learn to skate and you are strong on your edges, you can progressively go flatter and flatter and flatter.
But do you see a lot of guys that do progressively go flatter, or do a lot of guys prefer to just stick with a 1/2 inch?
A lot of the guys I push to go from, I see a lot of people from the 3/8, which is the deep hollow, and I move them to 7/16. They get used to that. I move them to 1/2. They get used to that. We go to 9/16. They get used to that. We go to 5/8, and everyone that's gone to 5/8 stays same time.
Loves that.
Other than that, if you have any other questions, I strongly recommend come to talk to any of our staff at Pickwick Ice. I'm going to be more than happy to inform you a little further.